watching Live by Night. I did not know this, that Ben Affleck directed it and wrote it, which I guess I should have figured that going into it because Ben Affleck was the main star. Gotta say, movie was impressive. I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed all the set pieces, all the character costume design, the cars, the trains. When movies do like the old school look, I'm one of those guys that's like, I want to see everything look right or look legitimate. Where when you're watching it, you're like, I could believe that's what that looked like, you know, in the 20s, or that's how people dressed, how people talked. That was nice.
Ben Affleck was trying really hard to make this feel like Godfather. Well, there's nothing wrong with that. I don't feel that it succeeded in feeling like Godfather. So some of the scenes where you get the talking heads and you get the extra story and you have just name after name after name introduced in this web that didn't need to be as dense as it was, it takes away from the movie a little bit. I enjoyed Ben Affleck's character. I enjoyed what they were trying to do with him, the whole gangster with a conscience concept. Some parts it worked. Some parts it didn't.
Now, I'm a fan of gangster movies. I enjoy the political intrigues and the family closeness that come with the gangster films, combined with the violence and the criminal activity and how those two things are juxtaposed against each other. The characters in this film were interesting and complex. Ben Affleck did a good job of portraying a character that you cared about, even though you knew he was due a comeuppance. And this film did pay off, and you felt satisfied at the end.
I have a slight problem with movies of this nature. The main character I don't consider to be a likable character. I have a hard time empathizing with them. The film makes great pains to present Ben Affleck's character as flawed, tragic hero in a way. Everyone seems to say, oh, you're actually a really good person, and people want him to be a really good person, and they're questioning like, oh, I don't know, are you cruel enough to really do the things that are necessary to be a gangster? And for me, I never really got the sense that he was actually a really good person. Pretty much just saw him as a gangster, you know, in this whole movie.
Movie did have some slow parts. I mean, it is a gangster movie, so what would be a gangster movie without some parts where it's a lot of slow down, where there's a lot of talking and a lot of names and exposition that you have to pay attention to, or else the next shootout would be kind of like, wait, who am I supposed to care about and why?
The whole idea of this movie and kind of the underlying idea or theme of the movie is people dealing with inner demons. They try to return to that over and over and over again with different characters. Some of them are successful and some of them are not successful. The only actor in the movie that I actually didn't care for was Zoe Saldana. I will say I'm not actually a fan of hers in the first place, but you know, I like her in Guardians, and she has good parts, but I didn't buy it. I didn't buy the chemistry between her and the person she was with. I didn't buy that she's supposed to be this really good person. I just didn't buy what they were selling for her at all. And because of that, when she was on screen, I kind of lost interest in what was going on.
The costumes and cars, the cars especially, were very true to this era. I did appreciate that. The sets were great. The women's costumes and hair and makeup, which is where I usually see films try to modernize on, they did a really good job of making these true to the era. Where they fell down a little bit is some of the men looked a little too modern for me. They didn't have modern hair products like we do today. And sometimes, since a lot of the show focused so much on the men, it would pull me out of the era a little bit.
There are plenty of things to like about the movie. Gorgeous location shots. The scenery is beautiful. The period the movie is set in is very interesting to learn more about. The details that are provided via the costumes and the vehicles and the set decoration, a lot of fun to look at, and the actors are all very, very strong, so they bring those characters out well.
But yeah, with gangster movies, there are those cliche things, some predictability. There were a couple things that I saw coming, and a couple things I thought they were going to go this way, but they decided to veer left instead. So I was like, okay, that's nice that there was a little bit of a surprise, but for the most part, it wasn't like, you know, like a Sherlock Holmes movie where you could try to figure it out, but at the end, you're just going to be like, what?
Other people in the movie, Ellie Fanning, for example, and Ben Affleck himself, I thought did a fantastic job. The gentleman that played the chief of police did a really, really good job. His part was done really well. While I feel it, without giving anything away, I feel they jumped his mental state kind of strangely. I'm not exactly sure how 1 + 2 = 3 in that situation, but I enjoyed what they did with him, and I enjoyed the way he acted. What he was given, he did a really good job with it.
So overall, I have to give the movie a 7 out of 10. I did enjoy it overall. I thought it had a really interesting story with some interesting characters, but didn't really pull me in emotionally, and it took a long time to get through it all.
I give this an 8. I think it was a good story. I enjoyed it a lot. The reason I don't rate it higher is there were some pacing issues, and I'm a person that actually likes slower movies that talk a lot and really get into characters, and even I found a little pacing issues with that, and I didn't rate it as high because of the modern elements that I didn't. I thought they could have done a little more to keep you in the era. I kept getting pulled out of it.
So overall, I'm going to give this movie a 7 out of 10. It's not a bad movie. It's nothing to run out and see in theaters. If you're interested in gangster-style flicks and you saw the trailer and you were curious, I would definitely go and see this. It's definitely something that if you're into the genre, you need to see because it is not a bad movie.
I'm gonna give this movie an 8 out of 10. It was enjoyable. I liked it. I liked the look. I liked the feel. It's just the problem with some of the slow parts. It's just really slow. It's like a 2-hour movie, and there's a couple parts where I'm just kind of like, oh my god, it's only been 45 minutes. Question for you this week: what is your favorite Ben Affleck movie? The Town for me. Like, definitely one of my favorites. Besides that, and Reindeer Games. I have an older Ben Affleck movie, but I enjoyed that one too. So go ahead and shoot that down below. Go on ahead and favorite this video, like it, subscribe to this channel for more reviews like this, plus throwbacks, unboxing videos, other things that we do on the daily. And remember, you heard it here at The Source.